and welcome to this edition of Culture Mosaic. In this week edition, there's one common theme in our lifestyle and connecting cultures. It is watches, but it's Swiss watches versus Russian watches. The Swiss watches in our lifestyle are no normal watches. There are three extremely limited versions depicting Vietnam's heritage symbols as a thank you from Swiss luxury watch manufacturer Chopard. For Russian watches, we will go back in time to immerse ourselves in the nostalgic feeling and memory of some of the USSR's most notable watches. And last but not least, we will see a Hanoi at night through the lens of a Belgian photographer and hear what he has to share about his artistic vision and love for Hanoi. Let's start our journey now. Limited versions depicting national heritage symbols of Vietnam, introduced by Swiss watch manufacturer. And in our On the Mic this week, we will see a Hanoi at night through the lens of a Belgian photographer. We'll take you back in time and learn more about some of the USSR's most notable watches. Now let's begin with some local news. To help people in the central region cope with the difficulties caused by natural disasters, many artists in Ho Chi Minh City have been organizing a lot of charity programs to raise money and other donations. Despite receiving no money, flowers or gifts, many artists still join and support fundraising programs like these. One example is the music night called A Kind Vietnam. Although preparation time was less than a week, more than 20 artists and the organizing board created a good night of emotional music with nearly $259,000 donated. Not only singers, drama stages such as 5B, Thế giới trẻ, and Hoàng Thái Thanh also spent the proceeds of their most popular plays to donate to the central region. After a period of halt due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most drama stages have returned with many new plays that attracted the audiences. It's easy to see that the big stages like 5B or IDCAF all choose plays with traditional folk elements to perform. Each play is a critical message about many aspects of life, such as corruption, superstitious lifestyle, or when money comes in between education matters. In particular, most of the scripts that used to be hits decades ago are now reconstructed with a new look, quick paces, and updated current trends in both real life and on social media. With stylized traditional folk materials, the works allowed plenty of space for the artists to sublimate, offering a variety of food for thoughts for drama lovers. Blood Moon Party has become the second best-selling Vietnamese movie of the year when it reached $4.3 million after 2 weeks of release. According to the publisher, the film currently attracts more than 1.4 million viewers and is the second highest grossing work of the year after The Royal Bride. The producers expect the film to be at #1 next week, hitting a record for leading the box office for 3 consecutive weeks. The film's success is partly due to its release in a time when there are not many foreign blockbusters to compete. The plot's rich details and the cast's uniform acting are also the attractive factors of the work.
Ẩu có vụ ngoại tình hay là ẩu có vụ không xóa tin nhắn gì anh Linh?
Last week, No Day and Suboy released a new MV called Đôi khi or Sometimes. This is a track from No Day's new album that features Suboy's vocal. It also marks her return after a long hiatus since last year's single, Bet on Me. Inspired by the use of body language to convey emotions and stories in contemporary dance and rave culture, choreographer Ngô Thanh Phương incorporated these into every dance move for the ballet group Morua feature in the MV. The MV sometimes introduces the audience to a surreal image of Ho Chi Minh City with random beautiful moments. In addition, the image of dancers dancing around Hòn Vọng Phu or a statue of the waiting wife made of coal and drinking tube wine together is meant to honor Vietnamese folk music. Female fashion designer Thủy Nguyễn has just opened an exhibition to celebrate her 9-year career in Ho Chi Minh City. The event Mộng Bình Thường or Simple Dream showcases 60 designs from different collections in Vietnamese materials that the country's top designer has created since she entered the industry a decade ago. Dozens of sculptures, paintings, and accessories created by international and Vietnamese artists are featured alongside the display of Thui's designs. During the exhibition, Thủy will host talks on Vietnamese fashion with visitors, hoping to inspire them. Mộng Bình Thường already kicked off this Thursday and run through the end of the year at the Factory Contemporary Arts Center. A new tour of exploring Hoa Lo Prison has been launched every weekend since October to honor female revolutionaries whose sacrifice contributed to the overall victory of the National Revolution. Sacred Night, Live Like a Flower, is held at night so that visitors can experience horrifying imprisonment in the dark, the oppressive atmosphere of the cells, and the persecution of the guards during the wars. After being equipped with a digital tour guide device, tourists will embark on their exploration of Hoa Lo Prison, which used to be dubbed Hell on Earth, and learn about the terrible living conditions and touching life stories of the female prisoners who were detained there from 1930 to 1954. They will also be accompanied by a human tour guide. The program is part of coordination between the Management Board of Hoa Lo Prison Relic and Hanoi Tourist Travel Company and is held from 7 p.m. every weekend.
Con hốt hoảng trước thời gian khắc nghiệt.
Two projects completed by Võ Trọng Nghĩa architects, including Nosenko Cafe in Vinh City, along with the Chickland Hotel in Da Nang, have been granted some of the leading awards at the Architecture Master Prize 2020, or AMP. Based in Vinh City of Nghệ An Province, Nosenko Cafe wins the Interior Design of the Year prize. The site, designed by architect Võ Trọng Nghĩa, includes a top-floor cafe and rooftop club. The biggest challenge in terms of design was to create an impact on the building by inserting a fresh structure while making use of unique and local materials, which is mainly bamboo. The other project, Chickland Hotel, claims the Hospitality Architecture Award. The structure features 153 rooms over 21 floors, all of which is covered by 3 vertical green which form a small forest. As a thank you for Vietnam, recently a Swiss manufacturer of luxury watches, Chopard, introduced 3 extremely limited versions depicting the flow of time on lacquered dials richly decorated with national heritage symbols. An encounter between several artistic crafts from Vietnam and other countries brilliantly orchestrated by it. Such sophisticated watches are created to honor Vietnamese beauty and craftsmanship.
Khi mà tôi đến phố một tách cà phê, cảm thấy rất là yên bình và tự hào vì mình được sống và làm việc ở một trong những thành phố bình yên nhất trên thế giới. Tôi mới tự hào hỏi bản thân là sao mình không vẽ một cái gì đó về phố phường Hà Nội xưa cùng với cờ đỏ sao vàng.
Tôi đã từng cảm thấy rất là xúc động trước nhiều tác phẩm có kết hợp độc đáo giữa nghệ thuật đương đại và văn hóa dân gian của Việt Nam. Từ đó tôi ao ước sáng tạo lên một tác phẩm dựa trên mối liên hệ này. Vừa hay năm 2021 cũng là năm Tân Sửu, hay còn gọi là năm con trâu vàng. Thế là tôi đã quyết định làm tác phẩm Trâu Sơn Mài, một sự kết hợp thân quen nhưng cũng khá là mới mẻ giữa chất liệu sơn mài và hình ảnh con trâu trong tranh đồng hồ.
My inspiration comes from a cup of Jassan, the lotus tea, It's quite a special moment because you open this flower, you smell come, and you find inside a little pearl of tea. I wanted to bring that feeling in this box. So you open the box and inside you will find the spirit of Hanoi.
With a love for Vietnamese culture, these designers have brought the image of Hanoi's ancient town, lotus flowers, the Total Tower, Áo Dài, and the Boy and the Buffalo to high-end watches, with a desire to bring Vietnamese beauty closer to the world. Since then, a trial of limited edition watches for Vietnam by Chopin, a novel 150-year-old Swiss manufacturer of luxury watches, have been created.
Nhóm thiết kế cũng nghiên cứu rất là kỹ lưỡng và để mình đưa ra được những cái đề xuất để làm sao mà từ cái ý tưởng thiết kế mà nó hiện thực hóa được cái mong muốn đưa những cái hình ảnh nhìn vào thì ai cũng nhận ra đấy là hình ảnh của Việt Nam.
There are only 15 pieces of these special edition watches around the world. They've been handcrafted using several artistic crafts, including supremely refined Swiss watchmaking, ancestral Japanese lacquer art, and Vietnamese lacquer art. These watches are Chopin's special thanks to Vietnam.
Well, when we decided that we would do something for the 1010th anniversary of Hanoi, we were looking around for all the crafts that were very significant in Vietnam. And obviously lacquer came first because there's so much lacquer since the 7th century in Vietnam. And we thought that something that is a craft that we can really well associate between the watchmaker and the craftsman. So it was ideal to conceive such a project and to come up with that limited edition.
That is a very unique work of art. It perfectly combines Japanese handicraft, Swiss machinery, and the beautiful scenery of Vietnam. We have tried together to make customers feel like they're wearing a masterpiece on their hand.
Apart from designing the timepieces, Vietnamese artists also worked on creating presentation boxes with gold dust and lacquer to complete the story of the country and people of Vietnam. The Total Tower timepieces are encased in a red presentation box that features a bas-relief motif inspired by the lotus flower. The Boy and the Buffalo interpretations come in a black presentation box. It opens to reveal a left-hand compartment designed to hold the watch and another that houses a buffalo paperweight. Finally, a black presentation box adorned with gold dust-coated engravings contains the latest series of timepieces, which pays tribute to the old town of Hanoi. Even before opening them, each of the precious presentation boxes exemplifies the refinement of the creations it contains.
But when you see the result, you're looking at it and you cannot believe that so much work, so much handwork has been put into that project. Beside the watchmaking, we have the lacquered face, and then we have the lacquer box. I mean, there's so much specialty, expertise, craft that goes into it.
Tôi muốn giới thiệu với lại không chỉ là người Việt mà là cả với bạn bè quốc tế những cái tinh hoa về thủ công Việt. Thủ công Việt hoàn toàn có thể đi được với những cái sản phẩm mà nó cao cấp, mà nó thực sự có giá trị. Nó là một cái minh chứng cho cái việc là chúng ta hoàn toàn có thể có được sự tự tin đưa cái tinh hoa đấy lên cái tầm cao hơn.
Hanoi is changing its skin. So what about the soul of the city? That was the question that prompted Belgian photographer Wouter van Hees to roam the streets of the capital in search of answers with a camera in hand. His work has been collected and published in a photo book titled Hanoi Wednesday, 10:43 p.m. and is on display at exhibition of the same name. Let's take a look at the book that features images of Hanoi at night and chat with its author, photographer Wouter van Hees, in this week's edition of On the Mic.
A house in the process of being finished. A villa in a deserted alley. Skyscrapers that light up in the middle of the night. Buildings and how a city can change every minute and every second are what have inspired Belgian photographer Wouter van Hees and his work. The 64 photos featured in the book Hanoi Wednesday, 10:43 p.m. were selected from over 300 photographs that Wouter van Hees has captured since November 2018.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining us today in this interview. First of all, could you please share with us a little bit about your project, this photo book? How did you come up with an idea of taking pictures of neighborhoods around the city?
The first time I came to Vietnam was in 2007, so just as a tourist, backpacking around like so many other people do. And then I moved here in 2015, so that's, let's say 7 or 8 years later. And immediately I noticed how much the city had changed in those few years. So that is something that immediately struck my eye. And I wanted to capture that somehow. I was very interested to see these changes. And I think one way, one very practical and physical way where you see that is actually in the city itself, the buildings, the roads, the streets, the avenues, the neighborhoods. You know, sometimes you have these old wards with many old houses which are just being torn down, and some new estate is being built there with apartment buildings and villa estates. So that's just one physical representation of the development that Vietnam is experiencing or has been experiencing for these past, I don't know, a few years.
Why did you choose the name Hanoi Wednesday, 10:43 p.m.? Why this specific time?
Well, that's maybe like a little personal story. My wife always has her own personal commitments, let's say, on Wednesday night, so I have some free time then. I'm very busy at work during the day, so during the day I don't have any time to go out and do photography as much as I would like to. In the beginning it was a practical consideration to start doing night photography, but yeah, I really started to enjoy it, and I really got into it. And you know, because the light is very different, of course, at night, the colors are very different. There's a lot less people on the streets, so the things you literally see on the streets and in these neighborhoods, it's different than during the day. And I really liked the non-chaotic side of Hanoi, because usually during the day there's a lot of traffic and noise and chaos basically, which is also nice. But I also like that quieter part of the city.
Combining an array of visual colors, light, shadows, windows, and neon lights, photographer Wouter van Hees gives readers a new perspective of Hanoi at night, which is surprisingly tranquil compared to the hustle and bustle of the city during the day. His works have received positive feedbacks from art lovers and his associates.
I really like them a lot. They really illustrate Hanoi at night. You've got the modern world of Hanoi, and off in the foregrounds you've got the old Hanoi, the traditional, and it's a nice perspective on life in Hanoi, I think. Hanoi is a very busy city, and you have always people around. And here he captures the city itself, just as a Stillleben. It's really interesting to see, okay, what is the nature, what are the buildings of Hanoi without the people that make the city alive.
Các cái nhiếp ảnh gia nước ngoài làm việc tại Việt Nam ấy thì thường họ bị choáng ngợp bởi tất cả những cái thứ xảy ra xung quanh chúng ta, đường phố Hà Nội nhộn nhịp và là khu chợ đông người, rồi là phố cổ, thì mọi người thường rất là bị choáng ngợp. Và đương nhiên chúng ta cũng thế thôi, chúng ta là người Việt, chúng ta vẫn thấy đấy là những cái điều rất là đặc sắc, nhưng mà anh Wouter, anh dành nhiều thời gian hơn và anh đã tìm được những cái góc nhìn của Hà Nội
nó khá là đặc biệt và nó khá là khác biệt so với cả những cái tác phẩm khác của những cái người nước ngoài chụp ở Việt Nam. Nó không chỉ đơn thuần là những cái hình ảnh xinh đẹp của đường phố, của phố cổ, của những người bán hàng rong, mà anh ấy có những cái quyền truy cập nó rất là đặc biệt tới những cái mảng khác, những cái khối khác của Hà Nội mà ít khi được nhìn thấy.
Wouter Van He has been living and working in Hanoi since 2015. Since then, Wouter has been documenting his life and travels in Vietnam and beyond. He gradually became more interested in street and documentary photography due to the rapid rate of urbanization of Vietnamese cities and their social implications. In his artistic work, Wouter aims to tell the story of urban transformation. He often wanders around the city at dusk, hunting for eye-catching and colorful slices of life, and turning them into compelling visual stories.
What story that would you like to tell through your artworks?
There's a lot of things that are happening and that are transforming in Hanoi and in Vietnam in general, I guess. My actual job here is I work at the Belgian Embassy as trade and investment counselor. So I do export promotion and investment promotion, which is something very, very different from this photo project, which is a very personal project. I notice how the country is developing, how the economy is developing. What I do is, by making these photos, I just observe what is happening. And again, it's a very tangible and a very physical thing, so you can literally see it. And I think this personal project was my way of both showing my love for Hanoi and also trying to understand the city a little bit better.
Why did you choose those places?
It was indeed very randomly, because I literally took my scooter on Wednesday night usually, and just drove off in a certain direction and went into an alley or a neighborhood where I had no clue where I was basically, and sometimes I actually got lost. But it was just a way of exploring the city a little bit more. There's so much to see in Hanoi. For me, it's a very big city. It still has a little bit of a village feeling sometimes. But yeah, I really wanted to explore different parts of the city because I work in Hoang Kiem district, I know the old quarter a little bit, but there are so many other parts of the city that are also worth exploring and that are very different from these more well-known places.
And the last question, can you share a bit about your future projects?
Well, I would love to do another photo book, but currently, to be honest, I'm not really working on any new personal project, but I have some ideas. I'm not going to share them right now because it's a bit too early. But yeah, I want to explore some more personal things. Maybe I'll try to do one more project here in Vietnam, in Hanoi. But I'm sure there will be more in the future, yes, because I love it too much.
Once again, thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you.
Russia, the land of birch, where millions of Vietnamese people always talk about with love, nostalgia, gratitude, and affection. Particularly, Russia left a deep impression that never fades in the minds of many generations of Vietnamese. The Soviet Union's watches. In our Connecting Cultures this week, let's turn back time and learn more about some of the USSR's most notable watches.
This is a Ponjot Deluxe watch, 23 jewels, shockproofed, 2,209 movement, gold-plated case, one of the most admired Soviet watch models in Vietnam around the early 80s. And this is Vostok Commandersky watch, produced by the orders of the Ministry of Defense of the Soviet Union in the years 1979-1980. And many other famous Soviet watch models. It is a valuable access from the Soviet watch collections of Vũ Anh Tuấn, a man who has lived and worked in Russia, formerly known as the Soviet Union, for nearly 40 years.
Từ năm 80 tôi đã biết đến đồng hồ Ponjot rồi. Nhưng quả thực là hồi đấy cũng không có điều kiện để sắm cho mình với đồng hồ. Đến năm 1983 thì tôi được nhà nước cử sang Liên Xô làm việc. Tôi nhớ ngay đến cái đồng hồ Ponjot và chắc chắn là tôi sang đấy mà tôi phải mua được để cho có một cái dấu ấn kỷ niệm của tôi. Khi mà tôi nhận được cái tháng lương đầu tiên ấy, tôi và một anh bạn cùng phòng đi ra cửa hàng đồng hồ mua, hay mỗi anh em mua một cái đồng hồ. Tôi nhớ là khoảng 60 lúc bằng nửa tháng lương của tôi thời đó. Đấy là niềm mơ ước của tôi.
Russia came very late to the party when it came to producing watches, with the first watchmaker founded in 1927. By the start of the 1960s, the Russian watch industry has grown at an incredible pace, with some amazing watches being produced.
Ngày 14 tháng 4 năm 1961, phi hành gia Gagarin ấy, thì bay vào vũ trụ. Khi vào vũ trụ thì có mang theo đồng hồ Studeman, có nghĩa là hóa tiêu. Thì vào trong cái trạng thái không trọng lực mà đồng hồ hoạt động rất tốt. Nền công nghiệp đồng hồ thực sự mới lúc đấy mà nó có cái động lực để phát triển. Từ đó từ năm 65 ấy là nền công nghiệp phát triển rất mạnh. Hàng năm có sản xuất ra hàng triệu chiếc đồng hồ. Đấy. Và trong những năm mà cho đến đầu năm 70 ấy, là sản lượng xuất khẩu hàng năm của Liên Xô rất là lớn. Đặc biệt là thị trường Mỹ và Bắc Mỹ, thị trường châu Âu, trong đó có Anh.
Vì đồng hồ Liên Xô thường cái sản phẩm nó gắn với sự kiện lịch sử, một cái dấu mốc nào đấy. Ví dụ như có những cái đồng hồ người ta sản xuất vào một cái dịp kỷ niệm nào đấy, hoặc là một cái chào mừng một cái sự kiện gì đấy. Đây là một cái chiếc đồng hồ mà rất đặc biệt ở trên cái mặt số của đồng hồ, tại vị trí 12 giờ nó lại là một con số 0. Bình thường nó phải là con số 12, đúng không ạ? Đấy, thế nhưng mà cái này thì nó liên quan đến một cái câu chuyện Tổng thống Gorbachev sang công du sang châu Âu, và một nhà báo đã phỏng vấn một cái câu hỏi là vậy thì cái đất nước Liên Xô sau khi tan rã thì sẽ xây dựng một cái nhà nước như thế nào, thì ông nói rằng là đất nước chúng tôi sẽ xây dựng lại bắt đầu từ con số 0. Chính vì thế cho nên cái hãng Raketa thể hiện cái con số 0 ở vị trí 12 giờ ở trên mặt đồng hồ để nói đến cái sự kiện lịch sử như vậy.
Nguyễn Hùng Mạnh is a lecturer at University of Transport and Communications. His love for Soviet vintage watches started from those years studying as a graduate student in Moscow. His watch collection is up to 1,000 pieces and is divided into certain themes, including a collection of watches with the images of famous leaders, a collection of different Russian coats of arms, flags, a collection of zodiac watches.
Người dân Việt Nam nói chung của chúng ta là thích Ponzot. Ponzot là một cái thương hiệu rất là nổi tiếng, bao quát rất là rộng lớn về các cái sản phẩm. Nhưng mà những điều đặc biệt thì thường lại ở các cái hãng mà nhỏ hơn một chút. Duy nhất là với cả đồng hồ Liên Xô, với hãng Raketa có một cái loại đồng hồ là dành cho người khiếm thị. Chúng ta bấm vào cái nút này thì cái nắp nó mở ra giống như cánh cửa sổ vậy. Và điều đặc biệt là các cái cọc số ở trên mặt để xem giờ như thế này thì được chế tạo có một cái điểm nhô lên. Đấy, để khi mà tay của người sử dụng sờ chạm vào cái vị trí đây và ứng với cả cái kim, cái kim ứng vào vị trí này thì người ta sẽ biết được rằng là bây giờ là đang là mấy giờ. Đấy, một chiếc đồng hồ rất là nhân văn.
To find rare vintage watches, collectors often come together as well as connect with their Russian friends. That is also a way to bring back vivid memories of their vibrant youth.
Rất là thích thú với cả cái mẫu này. Với chúng tôi là những người sưu tầm thì lại còn một cái thích thú, đó là mở máy nó ra để xem, để ngắm. Đấy, và lắng nghe cái hoạt động của cái cỗ máy bên trong. Nhịp hoạt động của một chiếc đồng hồ nó giống như một cái bản nhạc ấy, nghe rất là thú vị. Cái đồng hồ Liên Xô thì nó ngoài nó là vật dụng nhưng nó là cả một cái nét văn hóa. Và văn hóa ở đây là văn hóa giữa người Việt Nam yêu Liên Xô, yêu đất nước Nga. Những người mà đi cùng với Nga nhau thì có thể qua cái hình ảnh chiếc đồng hồ hoặc qua cái câu chuyện thì lại nhớ lại những cái thời gian, những cái năm tháng mà sống và học tập ở đất nước Nga hoặc là lao động ở đất nước Nga.
Ngoài cái ý nghĩa là sưu tầm, ngoài cái ý nghĩa là đam mê những cái khám phá về cái lĩnh vực đồng hồ ấy, thì để lại trong tôi một cái suy nghĩ rất là lớn, đó là sự biết ơn. Biết ơn những cái gì? Biết ơn những cái năm tháng tôi đã sống ở nước Nga. Biết ơn những cái gì? Biết ơn những cái gì tôi đã học được họ trong cuộc sống. Tìm cho mình một cái con đường để mình phấn đấu. Và thứ hai nữa, tôi muốn giữ lại, trân trọng lại cái tình cảm của tôi đối với nước Nga, đối với Liên Xô. Thì vào nơi là nó cho tôi cuộc sống, sự nghiệp và có thể nói là sự thành công nữa.
And that is the end of our program. If you'd like to catch us online, download the VTV Go app from your Google Play or App Store, or tune in our YouTube channel at youtube.com/VTV4Go for more of our program. And don't forget to join us next week for another episode of Culture Mosaic. Goodbye for now.